Welcome to another episode of our live stream, My Journey to the Trinity. My name's Hussein. Happy to be with you. Happy to be with me. Hope you're having a good day. Oh, hello, Abla. Hello, Tiger. Hello, Elisa. God bless you all. Hope you're all. Andrew Martin, God bless you. Elisa, Andrew Martin. Oh, thank you. Yes, I was at a conference, so I was gone for a couple of days. It's a great conference. And I was the Arabic translator. I have to go translate from English to Arabic. And so, people put on their headphones and then they, for people who don't understand, understand I got to wear the Kirk t-shirt. So, yeah, well, it's crazy times. Per usual, as usual, lots of things going on, and we got a little bit more information on the situation in England. So I just wanted to kind of look a little bit at that and what we know. This is the guy right here. You can see, handsome fella. Yeah, just kidding. Obviously well fed. This guy wasn't hungry. He apparently, you see you can see the areas where there's blurred out. Those apparently were the faces of worshipers there at the synagogue where he attacked. And there's like a history. There's a history. Yom Kippur is, Yom Kippur is like the highest holiday to the Jews. In the time of Moses, it was the Day of Atonement. It's the Day of Atonement, and it's the day that excuse me here, when the priests would come and they would get two goats, and the priest would put his hand on the goat, and then he would say, "I put all the sins of Israel on you." It's on Leviticus 24. And it would do it to two goats, put all the sins of Israel on the one goat. And on the first goat, they take it and they kill it, sacrifice, and they take the blood and they put it on the mercy seat on the Ark of the Covenant. This is the only time of the year where they go into the Holy of Holies. And it's the priest. The priest goes into the Holy of Holies on Yom Kippur. It's the only day of the year that the priest and only one person gets to go into the Holy of Holies on Yom Kippur with the blood of that goat, and he puts it on the mercy seat for the sins of Israel. And then the sins of Israel are forgiven for the previous year. Now, and then he also puts his hands on the other goat and puts the sins of Israel on the other goat as well. And the other goat is not killed, but the other goat is let loose. The other goat is let loose into the wilderness. It's just some guy leads him into the wilderness and lets him go. Okay, and he's carrying the sins of Israel into the wilderness. And so so there's two goats involved on the Day of Atonement. And so this is the highest holiday for the Jews, is the Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur. And So of course now they don't have a temple yet. um, the actually Netanyahu said he was going to say what he's going to do uh, in response to England and France and Canada and Australia declaring the Palestinian state. He said he was going to do something. He said he was going to say it when he goes back to Israel. Well, he's back in Israel. I haven't heard what he's going to do. I won't be surprised if he doesn't say we're going to build the temple. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what he decides to do. But, or to annex the West Bank. Let's see. All the media and Starmer and politicos in New Zealand blame the general populace for anything, all covering up. Well, yeah, whenever there's Democrats, and Starmer is like the equivalent of a Democrat. And so he's an equivalent of a Democrat in like Obama, or weak leader. And and they're in charge of England right now, but it's looking like he's going to lose because he's very weak and kind of pro-terror, not pro-terror, but weak against it, And so, and then he kind of appeases Hamas, rather kind of like Chamberlain. Remember Chamberlain? He's the one that went to negotiate with Hitler. And Chamberlain said, all he wants is a little piece of Czechoslovakia. So we gave it to him, but Hitler also wanted a piece of Austria, and he wanted a piece of Poland and a piece of France, but Chamberlain is forever known as the appeaser in chief, the prime appeaser. And it's kind of where they got the saying that appeasement is like feeding the crocodile so he'll eat you last. And that's what Starmer is like. He's a great appeaser. And Hamas was very thankful to him for what he did. So anyway, we'll see what happens there. So anyway, let's just look at a couple things here about this man here. His name is Jihad. Jihad, for those who don't know, and I have a cousin named Jihad. It's a very common name in Arabic, and we know what jihad means. It means exertion, self-exertion, or holy war. Muhammad had a lot of things to say about the best jihad. We'll look at some of those hadiths. And so his name is Jihad, but it's very common. It's a very common name among Muslims, Jihad. And so apparently he has a kid. Okay, he's a father. There he is with his kid, and kind of interested. What is that? Is that a book in the back there, or is that a present? I don't know. Maybe it was a present for. Isn't that like what they call a palm, or what they put babies in? That little thing right there. Behind him looks like it's in the hospital. He's got his Palestinian flag hat, and he's apparently Syrian, though. He's apparently not Palestinian. I don't think even Chamberlain would appease the evil within like Starmer has done. Yeah. Hello, Jack Ray. So, yeah, Starmer is a very appeasing man. He wants to appease everybody, and he's like a Democrat. He's a liberal. Liberals are generally weak people. Paul explains everything in Hebrews. Yeah, so it'll be anyway. Let's just look at a little bit about this guy here. Let me see. 1, 3. There's a. Okay, his name is Jihad. He's from Manchester. His name is Jihad al Shami. Now, this is what's interesting. It's Shami. Shami, when you say Shami, the in Arabic, when you say Shem comes actually from the name of Noah's son Shem. Noah's son Shem. The area that Shem occupied, because Japheth was kind of like Europe, Ham was like Africa and the Far East, and Shem was kind of the Middle East. That's kind of the area that Shem occupied. Well, specifically, when you say Assam, they actually call it Assam, which is the area that we call the Levant. The Levant is like Syria, North Iraq, Jordan, Lebanon, and like Israel. That whole area is kind of called the Shem. So when you say Ashami, that means he comes from Hashem. He comes from the area called Hashem, or the Levant. So, and he is Syrian. So, it could just be like a nickname, meaning he's from Syria. Okay. But Jihad al Shami is 35, reportedly arrived in the UK from Syria as a teen in 2006. 2006. Now, wasn't that about the time when Angela Merkel kind of opened up Europe, for the Syrians? Wasn't that like the Syrian civil war? Let's see, when was the Syrian civil war? Oh, no, that would have been much later. Syrian Revolution. Okay, that would have been after 2011. So this would have been before then. Okay, so anyway, so his father is a trauma doctor. Okay, so this is his last name because his father's name is also Ashami. Faraj is Shami. And so his father is a trauma doctor. Interesting, a trauma doctor. Well, could he use some trauma doctors today? While the Christian world share the same Arab surnames. Well, there's a lot. Even my last name, Al-Mashni, is there is a big Muslim name, a population that uses it. There's also a big Christian population that uses it. So it's both names. Many families have both names, a Christian and some even Jewish. Sometimes there's even, they always tell about a brother, three brothers, one married a Christian, one married a Jew, one married a Muslim. And so, they all kept the name, but, different religion. The kids are brought up in whatever religion the mother was. I was just echoing what someone said, but it couldn't be an accident. I thought AP was responding to. Okay. All right. Well, he was a trauma doctor. I'm kind of curious if there's any information about the father, Faraj Shami. I bet he closed all his accounts. Digital agriculture. Okay. Tamir Faraj. Okay. A mob has taken care of Obash. Humanity is one of those who represent. What the heck is that? A mob has taken care of Obash. Abashara. Humanity is one of those who represent the correct eggplant at parade. Tamir Faraj. I don't know if that's okay. Is this him? The original Syrian Faraj. Oh, this is Faraj Shami. I don't know if this is his dad, but I don't know if this is him. I don't know if this is him, but let me just show you this. It's the same name, Faraj Shami, but I don't know if this is him. The original Syrian Hassan Dahdah Faraj Shami. The crisis of Swedes is still dominating. It's poor without power as life, and it becomes difficult with the high inflation, shortage of food, and who trade with the blood of their children and our children. The people of Swedes are our people and their pride to rid of injustice. So I don't know if this is kind of looks like the guy who did it, isn't it?
عنده من أهل الحارة ساعد بحماية خوف أو عم بحكي أنا قصتي من 14 سنة لإسا صدقا 14 سنة ما واحد وجه لي كلمة إساءة، بالعكس رب والجود من رب العالمين. أهلا وسهلا فيكم شباب، شرفتونا. أول شغلة أنا من داعي حسن محمود دحلاح من محافظة دمشق.
Okay, now this guy's got nothing to do with it. This guy's from Damascus. It's just interesting. This is Jihad al Shami. Okay, I don't know if this is the guy. I don't know if this is the I don't know if he's got a oh, this guy looks like a doctor, doesn't it? This guy looks like a doctor. His father is a trauma doctor. And this guy looks like a doctor, doesn't he? I wonder if it's him. منور يا دكتور ربي يساعدك. Okay, so this is a doctor. This is a doctor. I don't know if it's the same, but I'm wondering if we can see any photos that would show us if that guy was his son. Does this look like the guy? Oh no. This guy looks like he's got there's a cross, and then somebody's got a Quran there. Seems to like the Julani, the new president of Syria, whoever this is. Oh, look at this. This is the picture we just saw. Welcome, grandson. Okay, guys, we found the father. This is definitely the father. It says, great welcome, grandson. Okay, well, we found the father, you guys. He still's got his page, because this is the picture of the guy who did the thing today. Is it? I mean, dang. I'm a sleuth, man, who found this guy really fast on Facebook. I don't know. So, well, I think we maybe did. I think this might be it then, you guys. That might be the dad right there. He's a trauma doctor. Hmm. Okay, let's see see if there's anything. Okay, no workplaces to show, no schools to show. He's got pictures of Hassan Nasrallah. He's got pictures of Gilani, the new president of Syria. Doesn't have any pictures of Bashar al-Assad. So, well, we'll keep this open. I don't know if this means anything, but it's strange that it was so easy to find that. So there you go, you guys. I'm a sleuth. I'm a detective. So yes, the usual suspects danced and celebrated in Manchester, hence a riot. In Lebanon, Sunni Muslims would leave back to Syria, even though the behave prize Sunni president in power. So many freedoms not granted, not voting. Apparently, You know what? He wasn't British born. Apparently, they say that he moved to Britain. He moved to Britain as a teenager. So Ahmed ex-Muslim said he's an ISIS. Whoa, really? Yeah, but yeah. Wow. Interesting. Well, this is the kid. This is the guy with his little kid. Islam. Okay. The father is believed to be a trauma doctor, Faraj al Shami. The terrorist lived in Prestwich in North Manchester, a generally affluent area and home to one of Britain's largest Jewish communities outside of London. Okay, so affluent, though apparently, well, a doctor, if he's a doctor, he's probably making good money. And he seems to be, judging by what they say, a trauma doctor who traveled, to different trauma places around the world, like war zones or something. In his statement, Greater Manchester Police confirmed that it did take place. He is a British citizen of Syrian descent. He was a father, and his family had lived in Greater Manchester for at least 30 years. He understood to have entered the UK as a young child and been granted British citizenship in 2006 when he was around 16 years old. His father appears to have worked as a trauma surgeon for several NGOs in war zones across the world. What war zones were those? I wonder if there's a way to find out which war zones those were. As Shami appears to have worked as a tutor teaching English and computer programming. As a tutor teaching English. Love to have that tutor come into your house. I mean, what could have radicalized him? What could have led to his radicalization? Jolani was Al Qaeda, then ISIS, then he's legit. Well, you know what though? You gotta say he's a respected member of the United Nations now. So you go from Al Qaeda to ISIS to the United Nations. It's just kind of a natural progression there. And he was welcomed to the United Nations. So, but I don't know. I don't know. A duck is a duck is a duck. If it looks like a duck and walks like a duck, has a beard like a duck, then it's a duck, And I hope you feel better, Janice. We'll pray for you. In Jesus' name, Father, please heal Janice. Thank you for your healing power, Lord, in Jesus' name. Thank you, Father. Amen. Healing is the children's bread. Amen. All right, here's the last thing I got about him. Is this it? Oh, I think I already. Oh, no. Okay. Manchester Police, no previous prevent referrals. That means he's got no criminal record before. We're not aware that he was a risk of becoming involved with terrorism through radicalization. 3 people have been arrested. Now, this is what I find interesting. 3 people have been arrested. Okay. And those 3 people, there's 2 young men, like I think 20 and 30 years old or something. And there's a woman who's 60 years old. What is going on there? One thing I thought, maybe it's a mother with 2 sons, but they were somehow connected to this. And what I was thinking is it's a mother with 2 kids or something. Let me see. Let me see if there's any information on this. See if there's any information. Okay. Okay. Let's see if there's any new news. The BBC is usually very sympathetic to terrorism. Let me see here. See if there's anything here about the man drove a car into pedestrians outside of Heaton Park Hebrew Congregation Synagogue in Crumsall, suburb of Manchester, before 9:30 a.m. He got out of the car and began stabbing anyone near him and tried to get into the synagogue. Okay. However, security staff and worshipers inside stopped him from getting into the building. Police were called shortly after the initial crash, shooting the man 7 minutes later. A video shared on social media showed the man on the ground outside the synagogue. One officer yelled at bystanders, okay, the attacker was dead because of safety issues. Okay, it took a while to confirm that he was dead because they thought he had a bomb. If you look at the picture, there, it looks like he's got like a suicide, like a bomb on his belt there. See that? They thought that was a bomb. I think it turned out to be a false flag, though it wasn't a bomb. Okay, so confirmed the device the suspect was wearing was not viable. 2 people were killed. Authorities are still identifying the victims. Okay. Police are seen ushering about 30 elderly men and some young children away from the synagogue. Police believe it was Jihad al Shami. Okay. Police said there's no records. 3 more people. This is right here. 3 more people, 2 men in their 30s and a woman in her 60s, have been arrested in connection to the attack on suspicion of preparing acts of terrorism. That's what I'm kind of curious about. I wonder if there's any information about them. Who are these? Google. I'm thinking it's a mother and her kids. That's what it sounds like to me. But okay, they haven't identified those people, the ones who were arrested. So anyway, there's a developing situation, and the guy's been killed, so there's not going to be like any trial or anything. Hello, Domagoy. God bless you. So anyway, it's just a very interesting, situation that Mamdani appearing on The View earns applause for calling Gaza war a genocide. Oh, okay. So apparently Mamdani has his friends on The View. Donald Trump will never get any applause on The View, but apparently this guy, Mamdani, and oh man, I wonder if they were going all gaga over him. A communist and a Muslim, and let me see. I wonder if we can watch that. YouTube, Mamdani on The View. Let's see if we can watch that. I'm just curious to see, because you know how they treat Christians, on the View. Mamdani. Okay, looks like okay. Let's see if we can watch, if I can stomach it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to stomach it. I can't stand that show, but just curious.
Let's quickly tick through all the things that Trump said about you, and let's get that out of the way. Right, number one,
Trump.
he's
His grassroots campaign and social progressive message is resonating beyond the borders of New York and even has, the White House calling him out. So please welcome New York State Assemblyman and Democratic mayoral candidate, Zohran Mamdani.
This is going to get a warm reception here. Can you imagine a Christian getting a welcome like that on The View?
Hold on now. We got an hour of the show. So y'all gonna have to calm down so we can talk to him.
Okay.
Well, you
You're very
certainly have
popular.
Apparently, they're going crazy. Spirit of Antichrist is on the move.
some fans here, Assemblyman.
It's a pleasure.
Now, a year ago,
Look at that smile. Imagine her giving a Christian a smile like that.
you were a largely unknown state assemblyman. Now, at 33 years old,
I got hula hoops. I'm older than you.
at 33, you are a rising star in the Democratic Party. You are the front runner to become the next mayor of New York City this November. My question is, did you see this coming, and what do you credit this meteoric rise to?
First, I want to say it's such a pleasure to be here, and thank you all for having me.
Sure.
It really is a joy to be here.
Just name dropped.
Look at that smiling. Just wait until the Antichrist horns come.
When we started this campaign, we thought we had a chance to win. We thought it was a very small chance. It would require everything to go the way that it needed to. And the first decision that we made was to listen to New Yorkers. A lot of times politicians will lecture New Yorkers as to what they should care about. Say, these are the things that you should be asking me about. And we wanted to go out to New Yorkers and ask them, what do you care about in this city? And we heard from them, cost of living, cost of living, cost of living.
Yeah.
Can't afford my rent, can't afford my childcare, can't afford my groceries, can't even afford $2.90 to ride the bus.
Right.
And so we decided to build an entire campaign around making the most expensive city in America affordable, because that's what New Yorkers were telling us.
Well, Assemblyman, over the weekend, one of your opponents, embattled Mayor Eric Adams, dropped out of the race. And while Adams didn't name check you, he did appear to make veiled swipes. So let's watch this clip.
That must also sound a warning. Extremism is growing in our politics. Our children are being radicalized to hate our city and our country. Major change is welcome and necessary, but beware of those who claim the answer to destroy the very system we built together over generations. That is not change, that is chaos.
So what is your response to that? And why do you think he's decided to drop out now?
There have been rumors that he would drop out for weeks, for months, frankly, even for more than a year. And I can't speak to the decision of why he finally came to that, but I can tell you that in hearing his words, the most extreme thing that I can think of are the policies that he's delivered to the city over 4 years. This is a mayor who raised the rent by 12% on 2 million people, who raised the water bill, highest it's been in 13 years, and supported Con Edison when they wanted to increase gas
How
and
does a
electric.
mayor raise rent?
So the mayor in a city of 8.5 million people controls a thing called the Rent Guidelines Board. Has 9 appointees, the mayor appoints them all. Every year that board determines whether the rent will rise for about 2.5 million New Yorkers who live in rent-stabilized apartments.
Oh, rent stabilized.
And so he's increased the rent 12% over this time. The previous mayor had frozen it 3 times.
Okay, let's talk about President Trump, because he had a lot to say about you.
Dear friend of mine.
Let's quickly tick through all the things that Trump said about you, and let's get that out of the way. All right, number one, he's attacking you as a communist. Are you?
No, I'm a democratic socialist. That means I believe in dignity for all people.
It means more than that.
Yeah, I think
You're not a communist. I agree with that.
No, I'm not a communist. And I think, a lot of New Yorkers have asked me, what does it mean that you're a democratic socialist?
Yeah.
And I tell them to think about the words of Dr. King from decades ago. He said, call it democracy or call it democratic socialism. There has to be a better distribution of wealth for all of God's children in this country. And that's
Liar. No Muslim calls people God's children.
hard.
Okay. So you're like sort of like a Scandinavian type of politician,
Yeah.
I would say, right?
A little
Okay.
more brown, but yes.
Okay. Okay. He's rooting for your opponent, Andrew Cuomo. Why do you think that is?
You know, he is looking to clear the field for Andrew Cuomo because he knows that Andrew Cuomo would clear the field for Trump's agenda. This is speaking about a former governor who, when he looked at the deployment
Trump says that he will withhold federal funding for New York's
example of what he's done
last one. He wants to use cities like New York as military
and we deserve grief. First, it was denial. And he was trying to do everything he could. He was looking at polling. He was calling Cuomo. He was speaking about, but also the fact that I wouldn't be sitting here with you if it was endorsements that made all the difference. General election, we heard that young people were leaving the Democratic Party. They were getting that needs to be at the heart of our.
Wow, they gave him a whole hour. Dang, or whatever, however long that stupid show is. Dang. Puke, vomit. So, well, if you got them just endorsing him, and he got a really big, huge applause when he said that there's a genocide going on in Gaza. So it kind of shows you that I think the Islamic angle of this thing may be a factor here. So, or just the Antichrist, which the view is. So anyway, wow, that was depressing to watch. So, well, let's see if there's any new news on what's going on. Of course, the BBC is very pro, or anti-Christian, anti-West. So I don't think they're going to have anything, but let's see if there's any new news on this guy. Uh-oh. Big California oil refinery fire. We just got nuked. El Segundo. Oh no. Massive blast rocked the Los Angeles area when a fire broke out at the oil refinery just south of LAX, erupting into the Southern California's. Ooh, wow. Segundo. Multiple reports of an explosion. Major blast struck around 9:30. Dang. Okay. No evacuation orders implemented. Okay, let's see. Okay, well, shoot. Well, it doesn't look like there's anything here. I'll just look at the Jerusalem Post real quick. UK minister slams pro-Palestinian protest after synagogue attack. Of course, we will redouble our. It's funny because Mahmoud is a Muslim, and she's condemning the pro-Palestinian marches. And after the synagogue attack, and then probably was celebrating the synagogue attack. Okay. I wonder if they asked if he was going to arrest Netanyahu, because that's something that he has also said that he would do, is to arrest Netanyahu if he comes to New York. So I'm interested to see if what kind of reaction that got. So if New Yorkers vote for him, that's exactly what they just. New Yorkers are no better. Well, we're going to find out. I'm hoping that, Andrew Cuomo is a, scumbag. I can't stand him either, but he's better than this guy. And, but we'll see. There's a God in heaven, and he's the Lord of Lords and King of Kings. Sometimes he gives us what we ask for rather than what's good for us. He gives us what we want. So if New Yorkers want this, they can have it. And I'm scared though, but because a lot of times what happens in New York kind of migrates to the rest of the country. And so democratic socialists, it's communism with a nicer, like a nicer veneer, but it's still communism and Islam. So I wonder what that's going to mean. What's that going to mean for Christians? I mean, we know what's going to mean for the Jews of New York City. We know what this is going to do to the Jews of New York City, but what about for the Christians? You know, are they also going to need to have their own police force like the Muslims have? So, all right. Well, we'll see, you guys. Well, yeah. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little video. I'm going to play a song that I wrote, and my niece in Brazil sang it. And so I think I'll just play that as here. You see videos. Oh, you know what? Shoot. You know what? I don't have it on my I don't have it on my okay. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that tonight. So, anyway, thank you guys for hanging out. If you haven't done it, please do it now. Jesus help me. Jesus forgive me. Jesus come into my heart. Jesus help me. Jesus forgive me. Jesus come into my heart. يسوع ساعدني. يسوع سامحني. يسوع ادخل قلبي. We love you, but much more importantly, he loves you. Thank you for being with us and have a wonderful night. Thank you.